Hill push, we might not be able to ford this river before nightfall, in which case you're going to smell mighty good to the grizzlies. So it's lucky that the atmosphere puts planes on its back, that the air is so thick it bumps against our ears, which is how we hear. We're lucky there's so much carbon around. We're lucky for granite. You know, granite has done big things for us. We're lucky conditions on this planet were perfect for life cocktail to turn a couple of atoms into an amoeba, into a cheetah. Lucky that one monkey finally got his shit together and turned into a dude. I mean, don't forget the vocal cords, the lungs, lucky the opposable thumbs, the disposable mans, the glands that make lanolin and lambs, dismantled ham radios, and bands that make videos for jams that are just witty odes to brands. And lucky for that one reunion on Cape Cod where I first began to understand my father's Jewish side of the family. Some say you can still hear the ghost of Woody Allen groaning at night in those old wooden hallways, saying, "I'm not dead yet, you schmucks." But the living, they gather around the dining room table, sharing and showing class and saying things like, "Lucky, lucky, lucky my ass. You call this lox? Fresh water? Salt water? Neither, you lie. This salmon's so dry, it must be the kind that they catch in the sky. Oh, you want to know about Stephen's health? Well, yes, they removed a tumor, however, that was the cancer's tumor. Yes, cancers can grow tumors too, smart guy. Dr. Rubin removed the original cancer, it's now malignant in the skin cell. They couldn't tell his mole because his vitiligo stole the pigment. He looked, let me tell you, like an albino with 3 shoulders. He tried to dye himself back to normal in a bathtub of Coca-Cola, but now he's got dementia and he looks like Al Roker. Oi, a Schwarze and a Goy, but hey, I can't complain. You know he's better than Roker at forecasting rain. For those of you who have no idea what the fuck I just said, that is how Jewish people tell a story. My grandma says, I can't complain. Really, Grandma? You just complained for 45 straight minutes without breathing or blinking. The nice girl's trying to take our drink order, and if I could get a word in edgewise, I'd say lucky the stomach flu. Lucky that 2-month itch I'd rather not talk about. Lucky because perfectly healthy should not be considered a neutral state. Okay, perfectly healthy should be considered perpetual full-body orgasm. But this is my father's family, and my complaining about their complaining is both concrete proof that I'm one of them and an unfair generalization of a proud people. Take my dad. Luckily, he never caught a zip gun ricochet to the face, but if you lean in close, you can see a little blue dimple on his chin from 4th grade, sometime in the 1950s, when he was trying to figure out how exactly they get ink into a ballpoint pen. He accidentally slammed the Bic into his jaw, tattooing himself for life. And lucky he did, because that wasn't a ballpoint pen at all. It was a flagpole. 10-year-old Paul Norman Watsky was claiming that little patch of skin for himself and has held his ground, even as this unfamiliar man creeps up on 70 around him. I can see it in his eyes every time he laughs at one of his own idiotic puns. Every time he laments the overbearing Jewish mother that made him want to tip out of his Manhattan apartment window like a potted plant. And lucky he backed away from that ledge. And not lucky just because his reproductive equipment was the genetic key to my eventual kick-ass existence. But also because smiles are delinquent teenagers. They like to gather in large groups. They leave marks on the walls of your face to tell you of a life well lived. They're hard to get rid of, but once they're gone, you wonder why you've pushed them away. You wander into their dusty old rooms at night and hold back tears at the edge of their bed, thinking lucky the bend in your box spring that sent those 2 strong swimmers into the world as decent sons. So lucky the lights over the harbor. Lucky we're so young, because time is a 1,000,000-mile wooden dock, and we're all here at the very young end, practically dangling our toes in the water. Even if you're 100 years old, you're still dangling. My dad'll shoot back. You're damn right I'm dangling. In all the wrong places. And you would be completely missing my point because I just vomited in my motherfucking lap in an overbooked jumbo jet. But I still have my feet on the ground. So lucky we're not livestock. Lucky we're programmed to think that babies are cute. Because otherwise I'm pretty sure we'd ignore them and they'd crawl aimlessly in large packs. America is a plump kid in husky overalls and I plan to live off the fat of the land. This country that I live in is like a big cupcake straddling 2 oceans, and lucky it wasn't me and you when someone had to fight and die so we could rot our teeth on the frosting. This planet is made mostly of carbon and Teflon, and someday every one of us slides off it like so much burnt stir fry. There is a lot that goes into a moss-covered rock, and we're lucky that there's so many cool bugs under them. And yes, I know it sucks that we eat a few by mistake at night, but at least we don't crawl into spiders' mouths while we're sleeping, okay? A web of impossible coincidences has crystallized into this moment. Look around you. History is afoot. This night smells like no other ever has or ever quite will. So hey! Don't hold your nose when you walk past me, girlfriend. I just martyred myself to give everyone on this airplane an amusing party story. So you better thank those lucky stars. All 600 billion of them. Lucky you. Lucky me. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna be back later doing a couple more poems before the night gets ended, but if you see my dad around, my father is wandering somewhere around here with a little blue dimple on his chin, so that's how you'll find him. Thanks so much for coming to the show tonight. We got a lot more for you guys later. See you soon.